Hello, my name is Honeybee. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I want to talk about understanding depression as an energy and as a spirit. This is a very deep topic, and it's so difficult to explain what depression is in one video. So I would love for you to stick tuned and watch this video till the end so that you can have an insight and an understanding, and perhaps maybe share it with somebody who's going through depression or somebody you know who's going through depression, and understanding it as a form of energy or spirit. In the previous video, I spoke about what is energy, and this is the street wisdom that I've learned, growing up, and how to maneuver around energy, and yes, we usually think energy is a scientific term, but usually energy is all around us, and energy is also who we are as a person and what we think. So if you want to know more about what energy is, just to understand this video, please check the other video about what is energy. This was difficult for me to make. I myself have gone through depression 5 or 6 years ago. And the person who I am today versus the person who I was back then, it's two different people. Two different people, two different mindsets, two different energies, two different personalities, two different lifestyles. And all I want to do is to hug the person that I was back then and wish that I would have received this knowledge that I know now back then. This is such a sensitive topic that I know a lot of people are going through depression, and there's different kinds of depression, For some, it's just a day that you're just having a bad day. For others, it's chronic depression. For others like myself, it was environmental depression. The places that I was living in, the situations that I was in, the boyfriends, the exes, the people that I was associated with. Those were the things that created a deep sense of depression in me. It changed everything, and it made me not think clearly or just live clearly. I had painful suicidal thoughts that I couldn't share with my family and friends. I felt that my family and friends couldn't help me, nor could the universe help me, And in this video, I want to share about these things because we can no longer pretend that depression is not a topic that society is going through, particularly with the pandemic and everything that is happening so far. So please stick tuned till the end of this video, because there's some insight that you might receive, and there's some insight that you might share with somebody. This is a real topic. Depression is real, and it's important now for us to understand it, not just as a trend or a mental health awareness. It's bigger than that. People like myself who faced it, this topic is not a mental health awareness program. It's something that is real, and it is something that needs to be spoken about. Going back to what I said, the person who I was back then versus the person who I was now are totally two different people. And this is the scenario of depression, or understanding depression as a spirit and as an energy. As you all know, that depression, you cannot see it. Somebody can smile and yet still be very depressed behind the scenes. Their thoughts, you don't know what's going on day in, day out with their own thoughts. You don't know what they're facing. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know the abuse that they're going through at home or with their family, with their friends, or with themselves. And depression can be hidden. That's why I mentioned that it's really truly a spirit or a form of energy, because energy is unseen but yet felt. And the mind is an air element. We think with our thoughts. You cannot see your thoughts, but your thoughts become you. There's that saying, you think, therefore you become. What we think every day is literally what we become energetically, and it's important to understand that the mind itself is a spirit. What plays out in our thoughts day in, day out are the spirits that we entertain. And the mind itself really has the power of changing the perspective of how we view our lives. So back to the scenario of two people. So you've got one person who believes or who is very unhappy, but shows the world that they are right, they're happy, but inside their mind is very depressive and they're depressed. And then there's a second person who is spiritual or faithful, and yet they are also just as unhappy as the first person, or they're even more depressed as the first person. The only difference between these two people, is by their thoughts and their core beliefs. And this happens within their internal beliefs. The one believes that they're truly alone. No one can help them, not even their friend, not even the universe, not even Allah, Buddha, God, whatever. And on the other side, the other person believes and has faith that, okay, I am in this situation. I am going through a lot, but I surrender. Please, can you just help me, universe? Please, can you help me, whatever, God, Buddha, angels? The reason why I mention this is because depression emphasizes on your core beliefs and your core thoughts. If one believes that there is truly no help for them, they are working on their own mind, their own energy, and their own mind and their own energy is depriving them, depressing them, suppressing them. On the one side, the other person believes that, I need help more than my own mind. I cannot do this all by myself. I do not have the power right now to think clearly. So they have the thought that I am seeking help. Whether they believe this or not, or whether they really know subconsciously what's happening, their thoughts and their core belief of seeking help helps them to be uprooted and uplifted, even though they're going through the same transformation of depression. That is energy within itself. The fact that the one is being energetically pulled down, depressed down, pressed down, suppressed, oppressed by their own thoughts, and the other one is being uprooted, uplifted, transformationally being shaken by their own limiting thoughts in order to vibrate a bit higher, to get out of the mindsets that they have. This is very, very, very true. And I know this personally with myself, because when I was in a depressive state, I did not have any form of core belief that anybody can help me, not even the universe can help me. And when I look at that girl back then and looking at the girl that I am now, my thoughts are totally different, which also means my energy is totally different. There are days in life where even a spiritual person, even a confident person, even a person like me goes through dark, dark days. But my thoughts and my core beliefs are way different now, because I know that there is a force greater than myself, greater than my own mind, and there is the help that I can go seek. There is help that I can go get. I wanted to share this for somebody to understand that depression is an energy, it is a spirit, and it's the way it works according to the thoughts and the core beliefs that we have deep down in our soul, deep down in our subconsciousness. And our subconscious thoughts will tell us every single day of the narratives that we have. I'm alone, nobody likes me, nobody cares for me, everybody doesn't want to see me great. All those thoughts that we have behind the scenes by ourselves. Depression emphasizes on those thoughts that you have. So it's important to think about, what are your core beliefs? What are your core thoughts that you have every single day? And what needs to be shifted from the point of believing that nobody can help you to, yes, I can receive help from the universe. Yes, I can receive help greater than my own mind. Sometimes as human beings believe that we are the only great significant beings in the world, that we don't need anything, we don't need anyone, and yet we can't even control our thoughts. We can't even control our own emotions. We can't even control our relationships. We can't even control what will happen tomorrow. And this is such a prideful thinking that mankind has, that they believe they are significant in their thoughts. We all need help. It's important to understand that depression is an energy and it is a spirit within itself. It operates on our deep core values of our thoughts and the narratives that play every single day in our mind. If you feel that you are unworthy, or if somebody feels and thinks that they are unworthy, depression will work on that unworthiness. It will work and it will emphasize on the thoughts, the deep subconscious thoughts that are programmed in our mind. When somebody is going through depression, it's also very hard for them, and I know from myself, it's also very hard for them to think positively. So saying stuff like, oh, just think positively, oh, just have positive thoughts, it's very difficult because, again, energetically, they are deprived. I remember having depression, and it was difficult for me to just even get out of bed. It was difficult for me to just even make myself food. It was difficult for me to even just wanting to be around other people because energetically we were not the same way. I didn't think the same way they thought, and they didn't think the same way I thought. And there was an energetic disconnection, even with my own family, even with my own friends. So it's difficult to explain depression in one video. I will be doing another video when it comes to depression because there's so much insights that can come out of it, particularly with people like myself who've really gone through depression and how I've transformed from that person that I was back then to who I am now. It is so emotional for me to also talk about it because I know that somebody is sitting there wanting to understand what is depression and really try to understand what's going on with depression. Depression is very, very hard to explain in any one kind of video or in any form of terminology. And those that have really gone through it will really tell you that it's something that really, for me, it's something that I had to reprogram my mind. I had to change my thoughts. I had to rewire the narratives and the deep core beliefs of my own subconscious mind. And that takes work, you know. Like I said, when somebody said think positively, that I did not even want to be around that person because that was toxic for me. The fact that you're going to throw the think positively, everything's going to be all right. I am doing my best to think positively, but I'm energetically being drained right now spiritually. I'm energetically being deprived spiritually, and I'm energetically depressed spiritually. So again, that was the energy and the thoughts in my mind that were creating a form of I can't even get out of bed. It's a very powerful thing to think about, that what you think, therefore you become, and also your thoughts are literally energy within itself. And so just imagine why we cannot understand why depression is also not energy itself. It's a spirit. It's important for just to sit with somebody and just make them understand that they are valued, they are worthy, they are great enough to seek help professionally, to seek help spiritually as well. Again, like I said, you know, in the science world, we focus a lot about science, but you got to sometimes live science. You got to sometimes feel that, you know, energetically, spiritually, we are spiritual beings having a human body experience. We cannot forget about the element of our mind being a spirit. Ooh, this is a lot. This is a lot, guys. We need to now be able to connect the dots that what we think, therefore we become. And it really works in our core beliefs of our thoughts. And depression itself is rooted within our thoughts. It's rooted within our core beliefs. And as I said, it's very difficult to talk about depression in one video. And there's also different kinds of depression. And I think a lot of people go through environmental depression. Environmental depression is something where you are living in a very, very, I don't know how to explain environmental depression because it's quite different for everybody else. I grew up very, very difficult. I grew up in a difficult place, in a difficult home. And the people that I was with were also they were bringing me down every single day. Exes, let's not even talk about that. Narcissism, let's not even talk about that. People who want to bring you down, let's not talk about that. These are the things every single day when you're working towards this type of people and this type of energy, it will naturally bring you down. You know, your job, your car, your money, finances, it's really a big thing. And I definitely know that, you know, there is stigma around depression. There's always been stigma around depression or about mental illness. It's not a mental illness. Everybody goes through a bad day. Everybody goes through dark times. And it's important now that we speak about that openly and we share the wisdom that we know openly. This is not a topic to be forbidden about or a topic to have a taboo name around. So I hope this video resonated with you. I will appreciate it so much if you like, share, and subscribe this video, because I know there's a lot of people that go through this, and I know myself, the person who I am today is so different from the person who I was when I was depressed. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a very important thing to know as well with depression. So in the next video, I'll definitely talk more about it. Share this with somebody that you know might feel depressed, but they're not really depressed, they're just having a bad day. That's quite a bit of an insult for people who've been depressed, truly speaking, because depression is, again, something that's not just, oh, I feel depressed, I just had a bad day, oh my gosh. No, it's really a problem. It's a crisis, and it's something that a lot of people are going through behind the scenes, but they're putting a smile on their face. So we just need to be mindful of the way we talk about depression and how we, you know, have that stigma around depression. We all go through dark days. We all go through dark nights of the soul. So please like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Honeybee. Thank you for listening to me.